It's been said that there are hundreds of documented pasta shapes known to the world, but there are hundreds more that the world doesn't know. Brilliant shapes and traditions that are hidden in forgotten towns and practiced by generations of forgotten people. Learning about these rare shapes, traditions, and histories isn't just a job to me. It's a calling.
Are the pieces always this size, or are they changed?
Basically, it reads way better on the plate like this.
I built this restaurant as a way to pass my knowledge on to my team, my guests, and hopefully the world.
You got wild.
Each and every dish that comes out of this kitchen was born in Italy.
Just so everybody knows, I'm about to leave for Italy. I'll be gone for a month. There is a lot of anxiety wrapped up in me leaving this restaurant. We're gonna try and cover about 7 shapes, all women pasta makers from the south to the north. This is very much a teaching restaurant. Those guys need to grow while I'm gone, and they'll grow again when I come back with this new information. Please make me proud while I'm gone, okay? Thank you very much. Order in Arabian and rare. Okay, guys.
26.
Even though it pains me to leave Felix, it's time to return to the source and keep these shapes alive. One of the rarest pastas on Earth, a shape that only a few hundred people even know exists, comes from a tiny mountain town in the south of Italy called Teana. The shape and the town are near extinction, so I'm here hoping to find a master who can teach me how to make rascatielli.
You can see it's a small town. We are on a mountain. We are just 600 people.
Only 600. This pasta, how do you say it in the dialect?
Rascatielli mishkij.
Okay, yes. Just slow that shit down.
Rascatiel.
Rascatielle.
Perfect. I
I
mishkij.
mishkij.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
It means scratch.
Scratching.
Yeah, you scratch the pasta.
The shape is so distinct, so regional to this town. You know, somebody an hour from here who lives here never heard of
Yeah.
it. Never heard of it.
We are not a lot of young people. We are becoming always fewer. We are trying to preserve the shape. It's our identity and our history.
Because there's so many older people here, what happens if the young people don't continue
care.
the traditions?
If we don't succeed, of course, it will die.
That's why I'm here. I'm just trying to learn about what you do here so that I can take it to the US and continue the conversation.
Sono nata a Teana, mamma e papà facevano I contadini.
This is still a land of shepherds, still a land of farmers.
Era piccolina, faceva I rascatiello.
Ci sono obiettivamente poche persone al mondo che possono fare I rascatielli di mischiglio di Teana.
You said that you have a pasta maker.
Teresa.
Can we go see Teresa?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
The young people are leaving. The culture is dying. And I can't even say the name of this pasta. Nothing is easy on the top of this mountain.
Teresa, che è mia cugina. Diciamo che è la migliore cuoca.
Teresa was born and raised in this farming community. As a steward of this land, she and her family produce everything they need. She's also one of the last remaining custodians of the shape. She's the reason I've come all this way.
Ciao!
Ciao, ciao.
Come stai?
Tutto bene,
Piacere,
tutto bene.
Teresa.
Signore.
Allora, siamo qui per imparare a fare
Facciamo
la pasta.
rascatielli.
Rascatielli, sì.
Dimmi.
Allora,
Tell me how long you've been making this shape.
io ho 50 anni.
50
Io ho
anni.
56.
So 6 years old, she's been making this shape. It's amazing. No scale.
Questa è semola. Questa invece è farina di fave. Va miscelata 2 parti e una parte. Quindi poi dalla necessità, miscelando queste due farine, si riusciva a portare a tavola un piatto bello sostanzioso e abbondante.
Just by seeing the ruggedness of this landscape, I can see how hard growing wheat would be in these mountains. And fava beans would do very, very well here. There's a lot of struggle. For this shape, the pasta is the source of the nutrition to fill one's belly so you can go back to work. These hands, this flour, this land, these people, this history. That's what it's all about. Okay. Wow. Come on. Fantastic. Oh my God.
Proviamo?
Okay. Quanti diti?
Sei.
Sei.
Le mie 6.
No, I'm thinking about it too much. Yeah, I know. Meno forte o più forte?
No, più le dita un po' più dritte e strascinarli un po' più
Wow.
a lungo.
Okay, so she's saying she's using 6, but she's actually using 8, and her pinkies are just on the outside, holding in these edges here so that it makes an oval shape. Vai ancora, per favore. Oh my God. I love that, watching that. I could watch that all day. It's genius natural engineering. It really is. Okay.
Un po' di pratica in più
Yeah,
non
yeah.
guasta.
I don't want to embarrass myself anymore. I'm gonna save my practice for my little glass box in Los Angeles.
Vogliamo fare un condimento?
Sì.
Oh. Buono.
I need a moment to myself with this pepper. It's like a potato chip that tastes like a pepperoni pizza.
We dress the rascatelli in a tomato-based sauce and a sauce made from the dried zafferani pepper, olive oil, and garlic.
I cannot wait to try and replicate this in the US because there's nothing like this. I've never smelled anything like this. I don't even want to talk anymore. We have to eat it.
I've never had the complex textures and flavors of this shape. It would be the most unfortunate thing for me to see this shape go into extinction. I absolutely will make sure that the story is told in the correct way. The flavors and the textures and the complexity are all born from a very, very simple place, a place of necessity, a place of love and nurturing. It's beautiful. Salute.
Salute. Salute.
The privilege of learning such a rare shape has changed my perspective as a chef and a pasta maker. So, as I leave this secluded village for Rodino, a town 683 miles north, I'm headed back into my past, to a shape that started my love affair with pasta making more than a decade ago.
She's so fast.
And I know I still have so much to learn. Agnolotti. Agnolotti, one of the most quintessential stuffed pastas in all of Italy. And this variation, Agnolotti dal Plin, which is specific to this region, is, in my opinion, the most fascinating and sumptuous of all the variations. I've been obsessed with this shape since I learned to make it as a young chef in Los Angeles. But I've never felt comfortable putting it on my own restaurant menu because I've never had the knowledge passed to me from a true master.
It totally makes sense, but I don't know what to think of it.
That's why I've come to Piemonte, to northern Italy, to a secluded mountaintop town by the name of Rodino. This is one of the only places on earth that I can learn this specific version of Agnolotti.
Saluti
So in Piemonte, there's a small town of Rodino. And in Rodino, there is an osteria by the name of Gemma. And the pasta maker goes by the same name. Gemma's been making agnolotti since she was a child. She went from being a homemaker to one of the most prominent pasta makers in Rodino. Gemma seems to be very well known in this area. Someone who has a reputation as one of the best pasta makers in a small town. That's what I'm looking for. That's the gold.
Sono tanto amica della signora Gemma. Gemma si è subito distinta facendo le cose normali che le aveva insegnato la mamma.
Che è una cosa importante, una pasta importante. Lo richiedono tutti i clienti.
Gemma's made some time for me in between her lunch and dinner services. I can't wait to actually meet her. She's not only an extraordinary pasta maker, but over the last decade, she's turned her renovated barn into an internationally acclaimed restaurant listed in the Michelin Guide. All right, this is it. Osteria Gemma.
Avanti.
Posso?
Venga, buongiorno.
Buongiorno. Sono Evan.
Piacere, sono Gemma.
Un sfolino americano.
Sì? E io sono una sfonina di Rodino.
Sì. Grazie per il permesso di fare la pasta con te.
E grazie di venire a lavorare con me.
Ok.
Come mai questa passione?
Mia passione?
Sì.
La pasta fatta a mano.
Io faccio tutto a occhio.
Sì, io no.
Tutto pesato.
Impossibile. È piccolino. I can't believe how big that is.
Quando faccio la sfoglia lunga faccio così. Con 2 mattarelli, quando la faccio lunga faccio...
She's using it as almost like a ballast so that she can stretch it taut on the one closest to her. I do the same thing, but I use my belly. I've never seen her style of rolling sfogliate before. I've never seen it in any video. I've never heard of it in any book. I've never read about it using the 2 mattarello technique. It makes perfect sense. She's rolling massive sfogliate. So in that, it's extremely unique and very rare.
Va bene?
Sì.
Allora vado a preparare il ripieno.
Okay. It's super uniform. No measurement, no nothing. Just feel. That's something that I will literally work my whole life to get to that level. Okay. Posso?
Assaggiare?
That's nice.
Va bene.
That's nice.
Mia mamma mi ha insegnato a cucinare quando ero ancora bambina.
For me to taste her filling is a glimpse into her family.
Noi eravamo contadini e lavoravamo in campagna.
Cosa ha dentro?
Ci sono le erbette, un po' di spinaci
Ok.
e un po' di cavolo. E carne di vitello.
Parmigiano.
Sì,
E piccoli.
ma noi qui li facciamo così.
Even if I tried to make her filling in LA, it would be completely different. It's impossible to mimic. You can get close. There's just something different when you harvest your own vegetable. They taste different. When you process them, they're still alive. When you're talking about something as special and as authentic as her filling, it cannot be replicated. Una bella forma.
Sì.
Sì.
Ti metti
Ok.
qua?
Ok. Così.
Sì.
It's actually harder than it looks. Because I'm used to...
Secca
Lo
posto.
faccio sacco posh.
Sì.
Okay, I'm just gonna do a little judge here. We'll see what happens. Okay. Agnolotti is a self-sealing ravioli, and the plin means to pinch. I can't believe after almost 20 years, I'm here making agnolotti alongside a true master.
Facciamo ancora un po'?
Sì.
Allora io mi metto di qua.
She's so fast.
E a me fare la pasta piace proprio tanto. Ogni tanto c'è qualcuno che mi dice: ma cosa ne fai di fare sta pasta fatta a mano? Fare tutta sta fatica. Ma per me non è una fatica, perché io la faccio volentieri.
Anche io. We speak the same language. This is what I do. I have my family and I have pasta. I just so happen to run restaurants on the side. It's as simple as that. Game recognized game. That's for sure.
Però lui le fa più belle.
No.
Sì,
No, non è possibile, no.
è vero, sono più belle le tue. Ne mangiamo tanti o pochi?
Cosa ha dentro?
C'è carne di vitello,
Sì.
aglio, rosmarino, un po' di cipolla,
Okay.
olio.
This is probably the most tomato that I've seen in a ragu this far north in Italy.
Qui di solito li mangiano al ragù. Va bene?
Sì, grazie.
Prego.
This is all for me. Oh my God. Va bene?
Va bene, grazie.
Buon appetito.
Buon appetito.
Oh man. La pasta è perfettamente.
Allora ti è piaciuto questo ragù?
Mi piace molto. I thought it was going to be really tomato heavy, but it's super delicate. The veal is clearly the favorite meat in Piemonte. Your history, I promise you, will be told many, many, many times. You've realized a very long sought-after dream to come make agnolotti with someone as expert level as you. So thank you so much.
Grazie a te che sei venuto a trovarmi. Per me è un onore.
Onore mio.
No, perché...
What Gemma passed to me today is the validation I've needed to put the shape on my menu at Felix.
Facciamo cin cin?
Cin cin.
Cin cin.
My time with Gemma has reaffirmed my faith in agnolotti, but it seems faith is all I've got as I make my way almost 700 miles south to a mysterious mountain town by the name of Civita in search of a nameless nonna, an obscure pasta instrument, and a shape I've never seen before, stranguliet. Sometimes, tracking down a pasta shape is a little like solving a murder mystery. I found this random photo of a woman holding a crazy-looking device, rolling out a shape I had never seen before. And I couldn't help but turn into a bloodhound and track her down.
Man, everything smells so good here.
So after some stealthy Googling, I picked up the scent on the trail that would lead me to Nonna Cristina in the ancient town of Civita with an instrument called a petine. And she was making stranguliet.
I mean, what a town. It feels like I'm on the edge of the world.
700 years ago, when Albanian refugees fled the Ottoman invasion and settled here in Civita, its isolation kept them safe. But now, its isolation is the reason this shape is on the verge of extinction.
So we're here in Civita. Just up the street is a restaurant.
Where Nonna Cristina has agreed to teach me the shape. It just might be the only place on the planet where stranguliet is made and served in a restaurant. She makes it every day, every week, all year long, and it's part of her DNA. She's been making stranguliet since she was 5. Single-handedly, Cristina is keeping this historically important shape alive.
This community is Abaresh. It's kind of like a fusion of Italian and Albanian cultures where this pasta is kind of sitting in the middle of that.
In my research, I learned that traditionally, stranguliet is served with a salted ricotta called ricotta salata.
Posso comprare ricotta salata?
And like a good godson, I'm bringing Nonna Cristina a gift.
Grazie. All right. Buongiorno.
Avanti.
Buongiorno, signora.
Buongiorno.
Come va?
Che onore. Mi stavo aspettando,
Piacere mio.
Un piacere grande.
Un regalo.
Grazie, grazie mille. Li mettiamo bistranguglie.
Sì, sì, sì.
Li mettiamo qua. Cominciamo?
Sì. Wow.
Viene setacciata prima, così la farina è più soffice.
Sì, 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 soffice. I can already tell that she is production speed. She's a machine. Do you hear her rhythm?
Tutto lavorato a mano. Grazie alla nonna che mi ha insegnato.
Quanti
5-6 anni? 5-6 anni.
5-6 anni.
Ero piccolina, non arrivavo a fare la pasta. Lei mi
Così?
metteva... No, lei mi metteva la sediolina.
Oh,
La sediolina
sit it on a
piccolina.
box. Okay. She knows what she's doing. She is a firecracker, man. I love the flair. Oh, questo è un pettine.
Sì, è di canna.
Okay. The texture is super tight. This is like really, really old.
Telaio, nonna, bisnonna. Chissà quanti anni ricorda, forse 150-200 anni.
200 years. 200.
Sì, ha voglia. È della bisnonna, della mamma di mia bisnonna.
You still use
Ancora
it.
gira, famiglia.
Oh my God. Okay, she's dragging the dough across the texture, stretching it around her fingers, and it's curving, making super huge canoe shapes on the inside. This is incredible.
Visto? Che meraviglia. Il sugo qua dentro.
The striations are like super fine.
Cominciamo?
Okay, fine.
Coraggio.
All right.
Fila. Come siamo veloci. Oddio. Ma lui già lo sa fare la pasta. Oh, madonna mia. Un po' di farina. Oh.
Let's see if we can get this to look like hers.
Bravissima. Sì.
Okay.
Non è lo stesso, gira da una
uguale,
parte
no?
all'altra. Anche più lunghi.
More pressure? Così.
Sì, anche più lunghi la prossima volta.
It's a little awkward because I
Delle
don't
volte
wanna...
puoi anche girare la cosa
Okay.
così.
Oh, sì. All right, so I'm
ti
bending
aiuta
it.
di
I
più.
don't want to break this
Ti
thing.
aiuta di più. Ma bravo, 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 bravo. Bravissimo. Che soddisfazione.
This makes the most incredible sound,
Sembra una chitarra.
like a guitar. I love that.
Poi la pasta fatta in casa non deve essere tutto uguale, se no non è fatta a mano. È uno corto, uno lungo, uno fino, uno grosso.
This is very,
Così mi diceva nonna a me. Sempre così.
You don't want it to look like a
Guarda che
machine
bello.
made it. This is the characteristics of handmade pasta. Every single one is a fingerprint.
Chef, intelligenza, bravura, capacità, c'è tutto. È tutta una cosa messa insieme. Sono
making me
una
blush.
cosa più bella dell'altra. E la passione.
Where can I find one of these?
Oh,
c'è.
non esiste.
It doesn't exist.
Non è che è una cosa che si compra.
It's incredible.
il verde ci vuole.
Pronti tutti?
As we sit down for dinner with Christina and her family, I can't wait to eat the stranguliet, simply dressed with a condimento of tomato, onion, olive oil, and basil. And of course, the ricotta salata shaved on top.
Che meraviglia! Grazie mille. Grazie, chef.
Mettiglielo tutto.
Buon appetito.
Buon appetito.
Buon appetito.
It's incredible.
È buono.
Mi piace molto. Mi piace molto.
Sono contenta.
When I make this pasta in Los Angeles, I'll try to mimic her shape as much as possible. Even though we might not be able to find a pettine. I don't know, we'll figure something out. Maybe we can make one, but I'm gonna try my best to do justice to this shape.
Mamma? Sì, è giusto che lo fai tu. Dai. No, non devi piangere. No, 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 no. Per me, la porti, dai. Dai. Però non devi fare così, se no mi fai piangere anche a me. È da stamattina che piangi.
È troppo?
No, no, niente. A te merita. Te lo do con tutto il cuore. Porta alla California. E vediamo se fai gli strangugliat. Però devi fare gli strangugliat.
This thing's hundreds of years old. Hundreds of years old. And it's one thing to pass the knowledge on, for them to just give a gift that's like an heirloom. It's a super special thing. I could stay in Civita and with Christina forever, but my journey must continue. I'm heading 400 miles south to Sicily, to the historic town of Trapani, in search of a grain that's near extinction. My success is based on this, a legendary handmade shape that's dying off, and a nonna who can show me how to master Buziate. If you don't know anything about pasta, this is the one thing you need to know. The natural engineering that happens around the shape is directly connected to the condimento or the sauce. When you eat Buziate, all this pesto gets caught up in the coil. It squeezes out like a sponge when you eat it. But handmade Buziate and tumania, the essential grain from which it's made, are both fighting for survival. I've come to Sicily, to the western tip of the island, to a town called Trapani, to learn from the last handful of people who are fighting to keep this ancient handmade shape and its grain alive. Perché siamo qui?
Noi siamo qui perché noi di famiglia Drago coltiviamo tumminia in quest'area. Le piantagioni di tumminia erano in tutta la Sicilia, ma poi è stata una pianta abbandonata.
Wow. So he essentially brought this thing back to life from near extinction.
Adesso la tumminia viene consumata in tante parti del mondo.
So he's doing for grain what I'm trying to do for pasta. It's everything that surrounds this grain that makes it so special. It's something you can't put your finger on. It's the air, it's the water, the wild herbs. If you peel off one of these berries, just one, it's so sweet, it's so milky, I can literally taste raw pasta. When it comes to the shape, its ultimate success is driven by this. So I'm looking for a pasta maker that makes Buziati only by hand.
Io non vedo l'ora di presentarti Benedetta.
E dove?
A Trapani.
Perfetto. A Trapani. Andiamo. In the center of the city lives one of the only pasta makers in Italy still making Buziate by hand. And she's been making it since she was 6 years old. Nonna Benedetta, a third-generation pasta maker who's been making Buziate for the city of Trapani for almost 50 years. She's a local celebrity because this is her shape. It's part of her DNA
and the DNA of the region, and I want to learn everything she has to teach me. So we're at Nonna Benedetta's olive ranch.
Ciao, buongiorno.
Ciao, buongiorno, che piacere. Benvenuto qui nel nostro campo.
Benvenuto.
Facciamo un pasto?
Sì.
Ciao, signore.
Va, vado in giardino e torno.
Quanti grammi di farina?
Questo è circa mezzo chilo. Ci metteremo solo dell'acqua. Così. Con questo bastoncino noi lo adoperiamo per fare la busiata. Questo filo si chiama busa, che viene da un'erba che cresce in mezzo al frumento. Piano piano.
Sweetly. I love that.
Ecco fatto. Questo è il nostro modo di fare la busiata.
This is her way. This is her fingerprint. This is their DNA. Every single one is unique to the time, to the place, to the pasta maker.
Mia madre ha fatto questa pasta per tantissimi anni, fino a quando aveva quasi 80 anni. Tu vuoi provare?
Grazie.
Prego.
This is coming home with me. È brutto.
Sembra facile, vero? Sembra facile.
It's really difficult to even feel for me. Unbelievable. I'm trying.
Tu lavori con la destra,
Sì.
normalmente? E fai al contrario, vedi?
Okay. I'm a righty. She's a lefty. Nope.
Non ti riesce da quel lato.
Oh, wow.
Hai visto? Hai preso già la mano. Questo movimento.
It worked.
Guarda che bravo, guarda.
Okay, so that's pretty
Perfetto, dai, perfetto.
perfect. Anybody can make anything one time perfectly, but can you make it 10,000 times perfectly?
Ok?
Facciamo il pesto.
Pesto trapanese.
Trapanese.
Trapanese. Allora,
Abbondante basilico. Abbondante pomodori.
Pomodori.
Abbondante.
Eh.
I love that word, abbondante.
Anche questo deve essere abbondante.
Oh my God. This is as analog as you get, but with the complexity of something that's created by Michelin star chefs. Io ho fatto questo, è brutto.
No, non è vero.
I'm happy that she left him in.
E mangiamo?
Sì, per favore. You have to ask me twice. Poco?
Poco.
Poco.
Ok,
Va bene.
va bene.
Grazie.
Grazie
Buon
a te.
appetito. Cin cin. Oh man. It's so sweet, it's so nutty. Signora, questa pasta è spettacolare.
Grazie.
All I can say is this is what drives me in this amazing place, these amazing people.
Va bene, cin cin.
My time here in southern Italy has been filled with so much warmth and love, and it's hard to leave. But my journey must continue. So I'm headed 900 miles north to the seaside town of Sori to meet up with a group of teachers.
Questo è l'impasto.
Farinosa, era brutta la pasta.
They're working together to save one of the world's most endangered handmade pasta shapes. Trofie. Trofie, a twisted blade of dough, a sharp-edged coil. A pasta that, when under pressure, strains out into a spear. Is it representative of the region and the people? I'm not really sure, but I'm noticing the locals in these small Ligurian towns aren't as welcoming as in the south.
Allora, non mi interessa qua casa mia.
Maybe it's all the tourists. Maybe it's the high demand for trofie. All I know is that in the seaside port of Sori, there's a pasta crusader by the name of Sofia, and the demand for trofie in this small town has recently grown out of control, and handmade is quickly being replaced by the machine. She and her group of nonas are battling to keep this handmade shape alive, and I want to learn whatever I can from these like-minded pasta warriors. I hope they're friendly. Finding a pasta maker who is trying to preserve the tradition of the shape, that's like finding a diamond. So I discovered a small pasta shop called Pastificio Novella. And I'm meeting up with Sofia Cavassa, a young pasta historian whose family owns the Pastificio. Sofia.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Evan.
Nice
Good
to meet you.
Thank you so much for meeting me. This is the shop, huh?
This is our shop, yes. Take a coffee.
Okay.
Talk a little bit,
Let's
maybe.
go. There's so many people.
Today is very crowded.
It's very rare to see someone as young as you wanting to preserve the tradition.
The hands is very important for me. The tradition is very important for me. I want that everyone knows the story of Trofie.
That's why I'm here.
Yes, I know. The way you do Trofie, you have to strofinare the trofia.
Strofinare, which means to drag.
Yes, to drag is
I
many
like that.
story.
Say it again.
Strofinare.
Strofinare.
This shape that takes pesto very well is a beautiful shape. So
It's a beautiful
elegant.
shape. Difficult.
Yes, very difficult.
Difficult by hand.
It's perfect.
So who makes the best trofie, the shape?
I have two teachers. My aunt Rosetta.
Questo è l'impasto.
Va bene?
Musica.
And my aunt Assuntina.
Farinosa, era brutta la pasta.
They start with me to teach how to do trofie. Laboratorio, more or less, workshop. I want to introduce to them.
Have you ever had any Americans come and make trofie? Never? What about pesto genovese? No? Don't be too hard on me.
No.
Okay.
We can see how it's going.
Okay. Sofia has arranged for me to make trofie with these, you know, culinary monsters.
Lui capisce italiano.
lo capisce?
Un po'.
Bravissimo.
Non parlo bene, ma faccio bene.
Bravo, bravo.
These pasta makers have been making this shape their whole lives. I don't have home court advantage. I'm here in their place. There's a certain amount of anxiety that I'm feeling, but I'm fairly confident. I'm fairly confident. How long has she been making trofie?
Io ero piccolina, prima dei 10 anni.
Okay, wow.
Like 8 years old. We have to mix the white flour with the chestnut ones.
Okay, so the chestnut flour kind of came during the war.
There was no white flour,
Yeah.
but we have a lot of trees of chestnut, and so they can eat something.
Per farle bene e lavorare le trofie ci vuole l'acqua che bolle. Se non bolle non riesci a farle.
By adding boiling water to the flour, the dough is instantly pliable. It's hot.
Calda. Elastica.
This is so nice. The dough is so different.
Each lady has his own part of the hand that they use.
Lei sì. Io le faccio col mignolino.
No, io uso questa.
I actually think this is the first time that I've practiced a shape with that many experts at one time. So I'm just going to attempt to do this.
Più piccole, più piccole.
They're too big.
So small.
E schiacciala un po' di più.
Technically, before I would do 1, 2, 3, and then come back. But what I ended up doing after listening to their rhythm was able to kind of morph into their style. Up, back, up, back. And fell into this rhythm that they were all doing, and my shape changed.
Super, super. Bravo, bravo.
changed for the better. Summertime, this is the time for pesto genovese. When the basil is plentiful and aromatic and beautiful. This will be the first time I've made pesto in Liguria. This is basilico genovese. So you have to crush it in order for the oil in the basil to integrate into the oil of the pine nuts and then the oil of the garlic. It's kind of like once in a lifetime opportunity for me to show some real Genovese people that this American may know what he's doing. The first time I learned how to make this was from my mom. I remember so clearly the perfume of her making the pesto. So to make a dish so special and so well-regarded and treasured in this place, to make it for these pasta makers who feel the same way about this dish, for me, it ends there. Pronto.
I can't wait to serve them trofie al pesto. I hope they like it.
Che belle. Belle.
We'll see. We'll see.
Basilico, pinoli.
Aglio, grana,
Parmigiano.
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 sì. Ok, grazie.
Grazie.
Assaggiamo allora? Assaggiamo. Buon appetito.
Buon appetito.
Buon appetito.
Un botto di aglio.
Forte.
No,
Aglio
no.
forte. No?
No, no, è buono.
ok.
È giusto. Buono.
Okay.
Ok,
Bravo.
ok.
Okay.
Bravo.
That's enough. Grazie.
Buono, buono.
The best compliment that any Italian, whether that's an Italian coming to Felix or these ladies tasting my pesto or anything that I've made, if you can get, okay, or it's pretty good, or not as good as my mother's, like that's the highest compliment that you can get.
Doveva venire dall'America a farlo, bravo. Bravo. Buono. È proprio buono. Buono, buono. Bravo. Buonissime.
So you're gonna tattoo a trophy maybe
Yeah,
once,
maybe.
one day, or a big
Sì, certamente.
My time spent with these incredible teachers is over. But now as I leave them, I'm faced with one of the biggest questions I've had since I started making pasta. I'm headed 20 miles south down the coast of Liguria to Chiavari to meet Gabriella Molli. I hope she has some answers for me and can give me the stamp of approval I've been looking for. Corsetti. Like a wizard has a wand, a Corsetti maker has a stamp. Each stamp creates a disc of dough perfectly embossed to hold not only the sauce, but the identity and history of the pasta maker. 10 years ago, I came to this place, the small affluent town of Chiavari, the birthplace of Corsetti, to find my first stamp. Now, as the tradition is nearing extinction, I'm back. A different man, a different wizard, a completely different pasta maker. And it's time for a new wand. But first, I gotta find a master who can help me answer a burning question that has vexed me for almost a decade. And her name is Gabriella Molli.
Nel corsetto c'è tutto un pezzo di storia.
Born in the Middle Ages after the fall of Rome, the dying art of hand-stamped corsetti is a magical feat of natural food engineering. The grooves and patterns expertly grip the condimento, or the sauce.
The reason why I was driven to come back here is specifically because I couldn't get a straight answer to a specific history of the shape. What is the most authentic and oldest condimento?
My research has brought me to Maestro Molli.
She's an expert in Ligurian history.
She holds all of the knowledge I need.
Buongiorno, signora.
Buongiorno.
Sono Evan.
Gabriella,
Piacere.
lei è uno chef?
Sì, un chef, un pastaio. Anche tu?
Sì, non sono una che fa pasta tutti i giorni, però adoro la pasta.
La pasta è mia vita. Allora, dimmi la storia della Corsetti.
Corsetti, Crosetti, la forma della luna, la forma perfetta. Il cerchio è una forma perfetta. Nel corsetto c'è tutto un pezzo di storia. Un piatto ti racconta la storia di un luogo. Il Corsetti lo faceva a Genova quando arrivava un principe, quindi aveva un significato forte, era segno di potere. Qui ci sono io e questo è il mio simbolo.
When you go to someone's house and they put their personal stamp on it, it envelops this entire idea of pasta being a fingerprint every single time that you make it. Nobody can seem to give me a straight story of the most traditional way to dress the pasta.
Perché non esiste un vero impasto,
Ok.
nel senso che ogni donna in Liguria mette in cucina gli elementi che ha. Allora, se ha la maggiorana in giardino, prepara un pesto alla maggiorana.
Ok.
Se ha le noci, prepara una salsa di noci o un pesto alle noci. Una salsa con pomodoro, pinoli e olio. Quindi non esiste la salsa vera.
Yes! Gabriella, I love you. She's telling me it's basically up to you. If you would allow me, I'd love to make you some corsetti.
Certo, con vero piacere.
Grazie.
Grazie.
Fantastic.
So with this revelation, I'm excited to get my new stamp. So I'm headed back into town to the man that created my first stamp, Franco Cassoni.
My first interaction with him was sort of brusque, but eventually he saw that I was very passionate about the history of the shape. So now, 10 years later, here I am. Ciao.
Vieni.
10 anni fa
Sì.
hai fatto
Guardiamo.
questo stampo per me. Guarda.
Oh, guarda un po'. Ah, questo è il grapes. Bene, l'hai usati?
Sì.
Bene,
molto,
allora.
molto.
Tu vuoi fare gli stampi?
Sì.
Insegno. Allora andiamo.
Andiamo.
Vieni. Prego.
Grazie.
Questo è il mio laboratorio, vedi? Un po' di sculture, anche i stampi. Allora, cosa ci scrivo qua?
Grano.
Grano. 1, 2 e 3. Il grano porta sempre allegria.
I've chosen the symbol of grain because it represents joy in Italy. And the name of my restaurant, Felix, is also Latin for joy.
Woodworking and pasta making have some similarity. They both absolutely take patience. They both take repetition. He's so passionate about what he does. It's so fast. This is beautiful. Thank you so much.
See you later.
A posto. Most of what I understand corsetti to be, flour and water and olive oil, flour, water, and salt. But Gabriella has a very modern mindset. She understands life is life, and people do what they want. In the decade plus that I've been doing this, that's like revolutionary. Do what you want. So I chose to make an egg dough. You have to understand the origin, the reason why the shape is what it is. You can't understand modern pasta or modern techniques without learning the backstory. There is no detail that is insignificant. It all matters.
So I'm making this shape for Gabriella. She can't do this anymore, but I can.
So what I chose as a condimento, which is a very, very basic sauce. Olive oil, pine nuts, garlic, Parmigiano Reggiano, and marjoram. But marjoram is the key here. It grows wild in the hills, so everybody uses it. Posso?
Sì,
Ok. Allora,
molto bello. È un fiore questo.
ti piace?
È meraviglioso. Piatto sensoriale.
Buon appetito. Che pensa?
Mi è arrivata la farina, la sensazione cioè della sfoglia. Subito dopo mi è arrivato il pinolo e poi la bellezza di questo piatto. Tutti i 5 sensi ci sono, mi
Grazie.
sembra, vero? Bravo.
This is the first time that I've talked with someone who hasn't tried to force the dogma of the shape and the preparation of a pasta before. First time. So, thank you.
Gabriella gave me something absolutely priceless today. The affirmation that as a pasta maker, I've got the skills and the knowledge I need, which gives me the freedom and autonomy to make this iconic dish the way that I want to make it.
Salute.
Sì. Salud, felicidad e amor. Va bene.
One last teacher remains, and one more shape to learn before bringing this trip home to Felix. I'm headed 55 miles east to the medieval town of Pontremoli, on a quest to master the oldest pasta in Italy, and some say the oldest recorded pasta in the world, testaroli.
Day drinking.
I gotta get primal.
Dangerous.
No. Medieval.
Salute.
Salute.
Oh my God, this place is beautiful. Pontremoli? Pontremoli. Pontremoli, the trembling bridge. Hopefully this isn't the bridge.
Okay, maybe a little drunk
We're on a river.
to make this crazy pasta shape.
Everyone's so nice here. You're so nice. The real reason why we're here is testaroli. Testaroli is an ancient pasta. Some say the first recorded pasta ever. So old that a batter was made and cooked on hot rocks. I've only read about testaroli, and this is gonna be the first time that I eat this pasta. We're at the very northern tip of Tuscany. We're kind of straddling Tuscany and Liguria.
My friend Lucia lives here in Pontremoli.
This is lovely.
She's gonna introduce me to one of the last remaining masters of testaroli in Italy.
My cousin is Alessandra.
Alessandra.
They've got this fantastic kitchen where they make their testaroli.
Alessandra Marietti is committed to making testaroli in the traditional way, which isn't easy. It's high heat and heavy lifting. She's dedicated her life to the slow food movement, an international organization that promotes local food and traditional cooking. She is a master of a craft that I've never seen before.
So if you can take the heat, I'm sure you'll have fun in the kitchen. with
I
Fabrizio and
imagine
Alessandra.
it's pretty hot in there.
It's baking.
Buongiorno.
Ciao, buongiorno, piacere.
Sono Evan.
Alessandra, piacere.
Piacere, Alessandra. Oh, Fabrizio, grazie per l'invito.
Prego. Vieni, ti facciamo vedere il nostro laboratorio.
Oh, holy shit.
Hot iron and wood fire, one of the oldest, rawest cooking methods. This is what's needed to make testaroli, a direct descendant of the porridges of the Neolithic age over 6,000 years ago.
Wow.
Sì, è pronto per fare il testarolo questo. Va tolto dal fuoco, con i testi non si cuoce niente sul fuoco, va tutto messo a parte. Ok, vuoi che ti mostro come realizziamo noi la pastella per fare il testarolo? Allora, si usa farina di grano 23, il sale e infine l'acqua.
Tu sei a 23.
Il 23
tipo di farina
sì,
o grano?
È un grano vecchio, antico.
Vecchio.
E ha un profumo spettacolare. Viene buonissimo.
Posso?
Sì, sì, prego.
Oh, it's actually salty.
È una pastella molto fluida, molto liquida. E poi l'evaporazione dell'acqua, a contatto con il testo molto caldo, crea tutti questi buchini.
Wow. All those movements is more of a dance than anything else. So you have to have a sense of rhythm. Questo idraulico.
Sì, è un baranco che ci aiuta a sollevare e a fare un po' meno fatica.
I mean, you've got to love it to stay in that kitchen all day long producing this very, very beautiful product. Like, that's dedication that is very, very rare. Wow.
Si può fare adesso, non lo so. Vedi? I buchini vuol dire che il testarolo va bene, perché devi vedere, da qui si dice da Scorano a Bassone, il paese di là, no? Quando vedi attraverso, il testarolo va bene, vedi?
Wow.
È perfetto.
Perfettamente.
Ok, Eva, vuoi provare a fare i testaroli?
Ok.
Allora ci vogliono i guanti. Ora devi controllare la temperatura del testo con la farina.
Okay, this is the ancestor of basically everything that I've learned up until now. Okay.
Bene, e prendi la pastella.
Okay, it's amazing to me to think of how pasta evolved.
Mescolino pieno.
Va bene?
Sì.
This hot batter being poured over a hot surface.
Perfetto.
To a cold egg dough.
Cambiato colore e lo puoi chiudere. Ora di legna per circa 5 minuti.
5 minuti?
Sì.
È caldo, è troppo caldo.
Sì, si suda parecchio.
Reminds me of working the grill at Felix or Spago or wherever. I'm trying to figure out the tops. It's like whack-a-mole.
Se vuoi scoprire questo qui
Muovi
in
questo.
cima,
Okay, and on top. Got it. You have to be engaged. You have to pay attention. Okay.
quello
Now,
lo puoi togliere.
coltello.
E tutto intorno fai un bel giro. Ok? Perfetto. Visto? Si è staccato benissimo.
Cool.
Now that I've watched and learned how to make this, the oldest shape of pasta, I have two more questions. How the hell am I gonna make this shape at Felix? And how's it gonna taste?
Questo condimento è tradizionale.
Sì, olio formaggio basilico senza pinoli, senza aglio. È molto semplice, però lascia il gusto. Senti il testarolo. Te lo posso servire?
Sì, grazie. Buon appetito. Buon
Grazie, altrettanto.
It's so good. Cool. The little holes, they grab the oil and the cheese.
It's not unlike eating a pancake, but so not like eating a pancake. Is it possible that things are unfamiliar and familiar at the same time? It's so good.
Reaching back to move forward, to keep telling the story, to the beginning of pasta, to the beginning of time, it seems. Fire and ingredients, flour and water, in the hands of our ancestors and our mothers.
Grazie.
And I'm just trying to be a good son, It's impossible to pack all of this into one suitcase and take it home, but I'm sure as hell gonna try.
Come si dice so cool? Va bene.
Per i testaroli.
Va bene.
So the final leg of this odyssey is for me to head back to my Venice, a California town named for its Italian counterpart. The student becomes the teacher again. Now let's make some pasta. I don't have a single drop of Italian blood. But every time I leave Italy, I feel like I've left my family behind. This trip, I got 7 new nonnas.
Proviamo.
Okay.
And a priceless body of knowledge to share with the world. But now I've come home to Felix, to my California family, a team of people who share my life's mission.
Are you guys ready to eat now, or what?
To preserve the brilliance of the nonnas of Italy. The question is, can we make our nonnas proud?
Bravo, bravo, bravo.
Felix Trattoria. This restaurant is a culmination of mentorship and a manifestation of my life's mission. Inside, I've built my own village, exclusively designed to teach and preserve the techniques and histories behind the world's most rare pasta shapes. Tonight, some of the shapes I've learned are going on the menu.
We want to find a way to formulate these new shapes, the new doughs, new techniques, and make them work in the lab.
This is my pasta laboratorio. From 6:30 in the morning to 10:30 at night every single day, pasta is being made in this lab. When a new shape enters, the pasta makers become my students and I, their nonna.
We want to do at least 4 of these shapes.
These are the 4 stories that move me the most. And just as important, they're the 4 shapes that we can technically and logistically produce at Felix. Agnolotti.
Work it out, release, that's it.
If you can't dance, you can't roast folia. Erica is my best sheet maker at Felix, and man, she can dance.
It's really humid.
Just imagine I did this in 100-degree weather.
She has the coordination and the touch, rolling the sheets that will become agnolotti.
We've obviously done this shape in different sizes, but we're gonna do Gemma sizing.
Oh,
Okay? Like
tiny.
tiny, tiny baby. But I kind of like the way that this looks. It's like punk rock, huh?
Yeah, they do like punk rock.
They look like a spiked leather jacket.
It took me 10 years to feel ready to put agnolotti on the menu. And now, thanks to Gemma, it's time. Rascatielli. I'm having Danny make the rascatielli.
All right, so check it out. We want snake.
Danny's a natural. He grew up in the restaurant business in New York. He's a big guy with a delicate touch when handling dough.
And then as you pull back, sliding, collapse the ring finger. Slow, 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 slow. Looks like you're trying to choke somebody out, bro. I swear to God.
This shape is ridiculously tricky to master.
You're stopping too short.
Yeah, it ripped.
All right, let's try again.
Only a few people in the world know how to make rascatielli.
There you go. Slide, slide, slide. Perfect, perfect.
And now that list includes me and Danny.
That's what it's all about.
Stranguliet. Christina absolutely blew me away with this extraordinary gift. So I'm entrusting that gift and this shape to PJ.
Chef, do you have a photo of hers?
You can see how fine that is.
Oh, wow.
No joke, PJ used to work for Apple before he came to me wanting to learn how to make pasta. He was my first hire at Felix, and he's killed it ever since. He's got all the dexterity and precision that we need to nail Stranguliet.
Good job, Peach.
Okay, testaroli. Turns out, the oldest pasta shape in the world has been my biggest challenge.
Testaroli is one of the pastas that I would like to get done for this restaurant tonight.
Part bread, part pasta, it requires close to 700-degree heat and very specific equipment.
You may have seen me in the kitchen earlier hefting this massive cast iron thing. It's called a testo. I've been on the conventional burners, on the gas burners, to charge the testo evenly. That's what happens when you underbake testeroli.
I'm gonna need to build a fire to get this one right.
We can test with the gun. Here we go. Let's see what we get. I mean, look at that. It's amazing. See through. How gorgeous is that? It's a bitch, but it can be done. All right, testeroli.
Oh, really good.
It's good, right?
So who's making this?
Nobody in the U.S., as far as I know, nobody's doing this. It's just so on the verge of extinction. It's so archaic.
Nice work, Chef. You did it.
All right, let's get back to work. Gracias, guys.
Almost all the pieces are in place. The shapes are ready, and my team is ready. We're all ready to keep the history and traditions behind these shapes alive.
Tonight's a special night. We've invited some friends to kind of celebrate this journey that I was on. I would like for you to pass on this knowledge, this history, because that's part of what we do here at Felix. In the lab, we've done an extensive amount of practice just to get these shapes just right. The story is way more important and way more valuable to me than the actual shape. Okay, guys, let's go get it.
Yes, Chef.
But there's one last piece of the puzzle that I can't control. The moment when my guests take their very first bite. That's the moment that will determine whether or not these shapes live on.
All right, here we go. Testeroli. We can tell a story, but can we tell it with feeling?
The first dish we have is testaroli. It's one of the first pasta. It's so old. This is very simple. Olio toscano, parmigiano reggiano, and basil.
Pasta's the world to me.
Just never had pasta this good.
So agnolotti del plin. Plin means pinch.
Wow.
If there's a shape that dies because nobody's practicing, a little bit of the world dies. That's real shit. That's really, really, truly how I feel about it. Okay, Streguliet is next. So I need pomo, I need basil, I need ricotta salata.
When we preserve our culinary traditions, we preserve what matters to us most. Family.
The stragole. And bring something special because Evan is very attached to this. He was very emotional, was given to Evan. In Calabria, it's called pettine. Pettine means a brush. And this is over 200 years old.
Almost there. They're almost cool. All right, here we go. The next one's the big one. It will take the rest of my life to barely even scratch the surface of the things that have been forgotten.
Okay, this is the last pasta.
Wow.
Rascatiete di Miscieddu.
What? What's that?
This is from my region, Basilicata. My grandma used to make this pasta a lot, and I loved it.
Wow.
I know for a fact in my gut I will never be satisfied. Are you guys ready to eat now or what? Because I'll know to the day that I die and I take my last breath, there's always gonna be another pasta. A toast to pasta.
Cheers.
And there's one more story that I could tell.